girl who stood against child marriage in Malawi. Malala Yousafzai, a girl who stood for girl child education in Pakistan. Mami Ya Bauko, a girl who defied the odds to chase her dreams of becoming an actor in the United States of America. Fatima M. Garba, Nigeria's first female aerospace engineer and pilot. The list goes on and on. Yahaya, president of Youth for Technology Foundation, once said that if women have the same opportunities as men, they could drive GDP up by up to 13.9 billion. In the face of this startling assertion, the World Economic Forum 2017 Global Gender Gap Report showed that it will take another 217 years to close the economic gender gap. On a positive though, the education-specific gender gap could be reduced to parity within 13 years. That is, if we want to. My mother, who by the way is seated in the crowd, says that my birth was the easiest because she gave birth to me single-handedly with few pushes. She said it was as though I was eager to see the world and feel it. We lived in a small two-room boys' quarters, and my mother was feeding my when she began to feel contractions. She immediately went inside the house to inform my dad, who went out to get help. But before he returned with help, I had arrived. Growing up, anyone could tell I was different from the other girls. My mom said it made her worry a lot, not just because I was different, but because I seemed determined to challenge the order of things. I always had a preference for jumping from one tree to another and riding on bicycles with the boys rather than playing with dolls with the girls. I was also very curious and determined to satisfy my curiosity. This often got me into a lot of trouble, not just with my parents, but with everyone else. I also had to constantly deal with the predestined notions that people had about me, not just because I was a girl, but because I was a Muslim girl from the north, a place where so many did not go to school. Growing up as a female, born in a very conservative part of the north, the seat of the caliphate to be precise, is no child's play. I had to come to terms with the fact that many saw me destined for a particular role in the society, one to be seen, but not heard. From the shopkeeper who yells at me for contesting the price of a commodity, to the bus conductor who is irked by the fact that I refuse to sit at the back of the vehicle with other females, to those who were quick to ask the boys to let me win an argument because I was a girl and boys did not argue with girls. These were all the stereotypes I grew up challenging. I know many who would just sit and take it back in their stride. But for some reason, I always felt like it was my battle to fight, and I took the challenge without hesitation. The importance of educating a girl child cannot be overemphasized. UNESCO has described it as a major factor that contributes to the sustainable development of any society. Girl child education benefits the girl, her family, and the society as a whole. UNESCO estimates that 130 million girls between the ages of 6 and 17 are out of school, and another 15 million around primary school age, half of them in sub-Saharan Africa, will never see a classroom. Aside the fact that educating the girl child reduces inequality and improves economic growth, it also reduces poverty and increases productivity. Why then are we still emphasizing on this issue today? How can we not want all of this for our family, communities, and societies as a whole? How do we make ourselves understand that the girl child needs as much time to study like the boy child and should not have to do all of the house chores while her brothers watch TV or play football with their friends? Benjamin Franklin once said that an investment in knowledge pays the best interest, and I agree. My parents, who happened to be teachers, were very simple people who struggled to make sure we were comfortable. One of the things they prioritized was the quality of education that we got. They sent us to the best schools that they could afford. They sent us to the best schools that they could afford and made sure we always did our homework. They sent my siblings. Did I mention that I'm the third born in a family of 3 girls and 1 boy? Okay, I just did. My parents understood the importance of education regardless of gender, and so they made sure that the quality of education that my sisters and I got was no different from what my only brother got. Even though this meant they had to spend their entire income on sending us to school, their concern was for us to get the type of education that was necessary. They also had to make sure to distribute all the house chores among my sister and my brother and I, that is, before my little sister came bouncing along. I remember my brother and I took turns to wash the dishes, and he totally hated it. There were those who praised their parents for spending so much on education for us. And there were those who mocked them for spending so much on educating girls who will eventually be married off someday. I recall back then in primary school, my class teacher was looking to appoint a class representative, to which I volunteered. He completely disregarded me and selected another boy, to my utter dismay. I remember I once told a boy that I wanted to be an engineer, and he laughed in my face and said girls cannot be engineers. These and many more, time does not permit me to elucidate, are some of the events that made me constantly want to prove myself to the world, and show that my gender should not be the basis for which I should be judged. I made sure to be a part of any club and society that I felt would help me learn something new. From the debating club to the press club to the peer educators club, I made myself available. Note that I still had to make sure that nothing happened to my grades, because that would mean query from my parents. They always checked our results at the end of the term and discussed subjects where we were not doing so well. Many women from northern Nigeria have excelled in different fields abound. In particular, I am inspired by the likes of Justice Amina, the first female Chief Justice of Nigeria who hails from Kano, Amina Mohammed, United Nations Deputy Secretary General, and Professor Aishatu Madaraki, the first female professor from Sokoto. I sometimes imagine if someday my own story resonates with the generation after me like theirs did. Describing oneself is so important, and parents have a great role to play in helping us girls do so. Your interest could be science, management, arts, music, and so much more. What is important is for you to find that which you enjoy doing and stick to it. Around the time when I wanted to be a TV personality, I worked with a TV station for some time, and people would not stop calling my parents how they had seen their daughter on TV. Around the time when I wanted to be a fashion designer, my parents enrolled me to a 6-month tailoring school, and everyone was amazed at the pace at which I learned how to sew. I did not make what I'm wearing. While it is important to find oneself, it is okay to struggle with it. Trust me, I know. I went from science class to social science before I eventually ended up in the arts. I felt art was for dull people, and all of my friends, including the not so bright ones, were in science. I remember my mother called me several times and asked me if I truly wanted to sign up for the science class, and I said yes. But deep in my heart, I
in the novels that the literature students were reading and the interesting things they were learning about in government. Quite a number of the best results around the time I graduated were from females. You also know that 113 of the 161 graduates from the Nigerian Law School this year are females. Many have argued about whether leaders are made or whether they are born. For me, I always felt that being like everyone else is not enough. So I engaged myself in extracurricular activities, most of which I thought to be at the top of. The advantage of being a stand-up leader is that it helps you build your personality, boost your confidence, and prepare you for even bigger responsibilities. When the news broke out that a female student union president had emerged in my university, it came with different reactions. After reading some blogs and some posts on Facebook, it further reiterated to me how our society
is discriminatory to the plight of women. Many of these angry posts had nothing to do with my capabilities or the focus was more on the fact that a male girl was the leader of an institution with over 20,000 students, and one which was situated in the seat of the caliphate. One of the students in my school once walked up to me and said, "Queen," as I was fondly called. It is not that you have not done well as a president, but you are a girl and people are laughing at us. They're making fun of us that we allowed a girl to rule us. Those who said it would be difficult for me to find a husband because I'm too outspoken and that made me intimidating. Shocking, right? I mean, I'm barely 5 feet and 7 inches and I weigh about 50 kg. How can anyone find me intimidating? Let me borrow the words of Chimamanda Adichie, and I quote, that the type of man who feels intimidated by me is exactly the type of man I want nothing to do with. It was not all gloom and doom, there were positives too. I was the feature of many newspapers and magazines, and I thoroughly enjoyed that. Received so many congratulatory messages from within and outside my community. People were eager to meet my family, and my dad, well, let's just say he did well to downplay the congratulatory messages he got about the feat that his daughter had attained. If I had not given myself a chance to explore that huge leadership responsibility, I probably would not be speaking before you today. I must not forget to mention that all through this journey, my family greatly supported me, but on the condition that my grades would not drop. There were those who felt that having a female president is no big deal. After all, the position is not exclusive to men. These are the kind of people who believe in the quality of your head and not your gender. Like my namesake and mentor, Amina Muhammad once said, I do not ever want to apologize for being a girl, and I want everyone to see me and appreciate me for the quality of what I bring to the table. Making tough decisions is never easy, especially if you live in a society where not so much is expected from you as a girl. When I decided to do my NYSC outside of Sokoto, I had my mind set on certain opportunities which I felt would be difficult for me to get if I remained in my humble town. I felt moving to the big city would bring me closer to these opportunities. It was not easy for my family to let me go because ours was a close-knit family where everyone could be together for up to 2 years without anyone traveling. That is except for me. Like everyone else, you move to the big city with huge dreams, beautiful plans, well calculated and thought out. I'll be serving with an organization, I'll be making loads of money, I'll be saving up, and I'll have everything that I wanted. Guess what? My plans fell apart. If you want to know the detail, you have to meet me after this. The experience in the orientation camp was not very pleasant, and adjusting to the big city was a huge challenge, especially due to the high cost of living. I think it is necessary to give proper value to a woman's work. I think it is necessary to raise the girl child in a way that she doesn't have to feel that her gender is a disadvantage. I feel it is necessary to make our girls understand that it is okay to dream big. It is okay to be ambitious, and it is okay to chase those dreams. I think it is necessary to raise our boys in a way that makes them respect women as much as they do men. Society needs to understand that we are not the competition, but we are simply partners for progress. Women deserve an equal playing field to reach their full potentials, just like their male counterparts. As we try to put this in place, let us not forget that quality education has a great role to play because it will greatly influence the type of knowledge, skills, and professionalism that will be brought forth. I know that for whatever a man has to do to prove himself, women have to try twice as hard to show that they're also good enough. It is not easy having to deal with this, but rather than see it as a negative thing, let it be a stepping stone to even greater things. Let it be the fire that ignites your desire to do more and get better every single day. I dream of a world that is more inclusive, where females will not be judged by their gender, but by the quality of what they bring to the table. Let me end with this message. Do not give me a chance because I am a woman. That would hurt my pride. Give me a chance because you believe in the quality of what is in my head. Thank you very much.